Welcome to One on One. Today we feature specialist Brian Hancock as he discusses being an older soldier and what it takes to make it to the Soldier of the Year competition. Listen in as he talks to our Sergeant Courtney Thomas.
Specialist Hancock, why did you join the Army?
I actually had to pay for my school, so I started 2 businesses in that time, and one of them, an information company, ended up being moderately successful. So I purchased my partner share, incorporated it, and led it as chief executive for 17 years. I guess you could say I in many ways achieved what most people would term the American dream. So you might ask, well, why then would I join as an enlisted soldier at age 36 in a time of war? And the answer to that question is, I think as you get older, you begin to look at your footprint on society. You begin to ask yourself that question, is the earth a better place for me having been here? And I didn't feel I could honestly answer that question and say yes. And of course, as things were becoming more difficult and more challenging for our soldiers, and with all the media coverage, we began to see our sons and daughters dying over there. And I just didn't feel I could idly stand by anymore. I had to do something, and so I decided to enlist into a Special Operations Command, where I learned and was trained how to be a PSYOP soldier for the United States Army Civil Affairs and Psychological Operations Command, which is of course part of the United States Army Reserve. And I've received some fabulous training, and I've only been in the Army, let me see, I had my first training in February of last year. So of the competitors here, I have the least time in service, and I may also be the oldest, I'm not sure about that. But it's been a wonderful opportunity. I've learned amazing new skills, and of course I've made friends that'll last a lifetime, and now I'm doing something that really matters. I'm going with these fine young soldiers and working together as a single team to bring peace and prosperity to others and to people who don't have the fortune that we were born with.
I understand you're in the reserves. What do you do as a civilian?
As a civilian, I'm an analyst for the state of California in the Department of General Services Building and Property Management.
What did your friends and coworkers think when you said, hey, I'm going to join the Army?
Well, my family and friends, some of them were very supportive. Others thought I was a little bit crazy. My father, who of course is over here, he's the one civilian here at the competition, was 100% behind me. I was very lucky to have that. He's been my biggest supporter, and our relationship has grown very close because of that. But everything I had hoped it would do, it's done. I think older soldiers often wonder, you know, as they get up in a few years, can I have a great adventure? Is it too late? Can I do something like this? And we can find excuses why not to do that. But I think I'm living proof, being here with the very best in the Army, despite age and circumstance, that you can join, you can make a difference, you can excel at the highest levels and have that excitement that you want and make that difference to make this world a better place.
What has been the hardest part for you so far?
Getting here, as an older soldier, we're a little bit more physically challenged. It's a little bit more difficult to get into the type of shape you need to be in to excel, to stay in that shape. And of course, we tend to injure a little bit more easily. I broke a finger at the last competition. But on the plus side, we tend to be a little bit more mature, a little more disciplined. We're able to have very good study habits and learn all of the mini tasks and drills and of course the board questions that we need to be able to succeed.
How do you think other soldiers perceive you, especially the younger ones?
It was definitely a different kind of situation. Most of the soldiers that I trained with were young enough to be my children. They called me Gramps, and I was happy because I have wonderful grandparents. To me, that's a compliment. And it also allowed me to, where appropriate, do some mentoring to assist these fine upcoming soldiers. And at the same time, they taught me many new things as well. Sports have changed over the years, as well as the physical demands of an increasingly physical job. And they also, in turn, gave me some learning, which has made me a better soldier and a better person.
Since you are older with more experience, do you have any tips to share with future competitors for Soldier of the Year?
You know, I've thought about writing an article on that because it's an excellent topic. And I think my working title was, So You Want to Be Soldier of the Year. Obviously, I've had to do more preparation than the other soldiers, and that's been a key to success. I research very thoroughly the site where a competition is going to be held, all of the tasks that are going to be involved. If there's going to be land navigation at that site, I get a hold of all the maps, including Google Earth. You can see in advance, do map recon, plan your routes, Arrive early at the site, get used to the humidity, the environment, the climate, practice and train in that specific environment, and then aggressively seek out trainers for yourself. Find the people you admire and mentor the most in the Army, tell them what you think of them, and ask them to train you for this event. Read the MOI and the other information that's put out carefully, sift from it all of the tasks and potential events that you could have to do, build a training program, and have those key figures help you implement that training program. And then, of course, have the discipline to stick to it.
Do you have a family back home?
I do. I have a wife and I have a 7-year-old daughter. And obviously they would love it if I was home, but they understand the importance of this, the importance of representing the reserves, of representing our hometown. We've never had anyone in a competition at this level. So it's sometimes a little bit of a sacrifice, but it's a sacrifice we're prepared to make to achieve the mission.
What did your little girl think about Daddy joining the Army and taking part in this competition?
Well, the Sacramento Bee did an article on that, and they have a web link which has a video with my daughter, and you can hear her voice and see some of the things she says. And if I could quote her, I think one of her first comments was, "I'm glad that my daddy's in the Army because he's strong enough to carry 2 people, so that I could run around the park with not only her, but a friend as well at the same time." But she isn't happy that my toenails get beat up from all the ruck marching. So I think her words were, "But his feet are terrible."
You've been listening to a one-on-one with Specialist Brian Hancock as he discusses being an older soldier and what it takes to make it to the Soldier of the Year competition.